Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the video. This is Lead Therapy. Well, as far as I know, since I've lived in Florida, Florida has always been called the gunshine state. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We don't have any so-called assault weapons bans. There's no magazine limits, anything like that. Florida in July just hit 2 million concealed weapons permit holders. That's the most of any state, next to Texas, which I think they have 1.3 million, 1.5 million. And for law-abiding citizens, we can go and take part in our Second Amendment and purchase firearms. And that was up until recently that Florida, I considered, was still the gunshine state. Now, also, a lot of you that might know and might not know that for the past 8 years, up until the last election cycle, our governor was Rick Scott, who was a Republican. And I thought he did very well as a governor, not only for the Second Amendment, but ran the state great, almost like what I would say like Donald Trump. He was a businessman and ran Florida like a business and did very well. But then, unfortunately, there came the mass shooting at Stoneman Douglas. And Rick Scott had already said that once he finished out his term and his 8 years and couldn't run anymore, that he was going to run for senator of Florida. And so once like I said, the Stoneman Douglas shooting happened, of course, a lot of people demanded action, and some things needed to happen. But I really didn't think that he would come up with and get this all done very quickly. And it became that now you have to be 21 years old to buy all firearms. It used to be if you had to be 18 to buy a long gun and 21 to buy a pistol. And now it's 21 straight across. And then one of the other big things is the red flag laws. And it's just amazing how many. I tried to find statistics, and they're kind of tough to find out. But that happened last year. I found out close to 2,000 people had their rights taken away from them, had their guns taken away from them, and for these red flag laws. And it's amazing how certain counties are just even more than most. And of course, down there in Miami and Dade and all that, I can understand. But it's amazing how Rick Scott went from being a champion of the Second Amendment and sold it out to become a senator of Florida. Now, here's the thing. Is we definitely wouldn't want the alternative. We don't want to have a Democrat senator, and he beat the incumbent, which was great. But on the other hand, like I said, he sold out the Second Amendment, and the reason he did was because to get the votes. Sure, he pissed off a lot of people that were Republican and are for the Second Amendment, but he gained a lot more in getting these laws passed. And that's just not the way to do it. And so I still consider Florida the gunshine state because of, like I said, 2 million concealed weapons permit holders. And that's just everyday Joe Schmoes that have gone through their background checks. It doesn't include, armed security guards and former Leos and other things like that. That's an everyday mom and pop, and it's just 2 million, which is just unbelievable. And we still don't have any so-called assault weapons bans, and we don't have any restrictions on ammunition or magazine capacities. Well, that's great, And I showed the other day, I still love Florida because I can have something like this and the other things that I have. But like I said, Rick Scott did really take a dump on the Second Amendment. He should be ashamed of it for doing so. But we've got a great new Republican governor that's been doing a fantastic job, Ron DeSantis. And I really don't think that he would even consider doing anything like Rick Scott did. So that's the video. I just wanted to put that out there for those that didn't know that much about what's going on in Florida. And thanks for your support, and we'll see you next time.